I'm going to tell you a story, but the first thing you have to understand is time doesn't work the way you think it does. You can go miracle, no one's talking to you. Welcome to the cult. Alright, so I'm going to revisit Fullmetal Alchemy for a bit. In particular, I'm going to try to see if I can revisit and thus shorten the 3-step chain that I turned into, like, realistically 18 steps. But I think I've had it cut down to like 6. And it's Samkarati, Janati, Pinikarati, Vidahati, Prasadayati, Kabayati. And so, like, in Fullmetal Alchemist, the 3 steps of transmutation are understanding, deconstruction, and reconstruction. Now, at one point, when Scar is encountering Father underneath the city, and he's looking at, like, what Scar's arm does, he's like, deconstruction, no, decomposition. I was like, no, that's exactly what it is. It's not deconstructing, it's decomposing. I don't know why. It just was like, that has to be how it actually is, as opposed to like that's how alchemy must be, how it's supposed to be, as opposed to, because the way Father said it was like, wow, that's old school. You're doing decomposition instead of deconstruction. That's fantastic. It's almost like a Father was impressed that it did decomposition instead of just like deconstruction. Because like it seems like just in that moment, it seemed like decompose was more true to alchemy in terms of what the process is than deconstruct. Now that's just like me as a human watching the show, trying to talk about like actual alchemy in reference to a TV show. Which, you know, I'm of the opinion that like information and knowledge really, its utility isn't necessarily in where it comes from, as long as it's not invalid. Like, there's this thing I put in my my detective novels that, like, what's important is that it works. Now, if you want to get into why it works, that's a fascinating question. It's one that can be looked into, and it's one that actually, in most cases, can be explained. In some cases, it can't. And that's part of Magic's deal. Part of Magic's deal is the endless quest for new mystery. At least in my opinion. That's part of the deal with alchemy. It's like, you will always be looking for more understanding. You will always be looking for, like, you will always be looking for the end goal. Now, interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure the end goal of alchemy is making a Siddhideva, which is turning yourself as a human into a perfected deity, which, believe it or not, will almost certainly require another human being. Not necessarily physically, but like at a soul level, which is why Philosopher's Stone is being made of human souls. Because, like, they say, like, it takes human lives to make those things. That is not inaccurate. Although it is misleading in that it takes human souls to make those things. Which is why, when there's, like, actually, I'm going to finish this first sequence first. So it's Samakarati Janati Pindikarati Dirahati Prasadayati Kabiyati. So, like, in the show, it's understand. I might change that to analyze or something like that, but so associate with understand, identify with decompose, and then reduce to order, compose. Like a work of art. And I chose that basically to be a reflection of partially my opinion is just how like alchemy is, and that it is a mixture of both an art and a science. And also to pratibimbayati, or to reflect the decomposition. So it's like in the show, it's understand, deconstruct, then reconstruct. Well, I mean, if it's decomposing, it would probably be, instead of recompose, it would be composed basically as new. And so there's that. And the other thing that I was about to talk about is in episode 46 of Brotherhood, I believe. It's at the end of the conflict at Baskur. Um, Ed has a piece of rebar through him, effectively. Like he is literally impaled, like right here. Like it's going through a kidney, it's going through his guts. He is basically already dying. Like he's dying. Like he's dying. You don't want to die. He ain't dead yet. But, things not changing. He is literally actually already dying. So there's that. And he rescues a couple chimera that get buried with him by Kimberly. And God, I love Kimberly. Anyway, moving on from that. And he basically asks them to pull the rebar out, and he's going to use his own soul effectively as a philosopher's stone in order to try to do bioalchemy on himself in order to basically not heal the wound, but effectively seal it, keep it from killing him. It doesn't prevent him from needing to see a straight up doctor afterwards, but it makes it so he can actually survive all the way to the doctor. And he's like, I have to picture myself as one massive energy. Which means I've already screwed it up. And then I have to remember what it's like to use a soul to harness life. I am a single philosopher's stone powered by a single human soul. So. Mama. Spasmani. Mama diva. Mama diva chaya. Mama. Resendra. Mama diva paratman. Mama. Takika konamani. Mama. Atman sam yoga. And a cross of rising body, rising body, and a closing body, and a rising body, and a closing body, and a grody, and you are around. And a grody, body, and a closing body, and a grody, and a closing body. Zartina yari garingari, Nenagari, frustrating body, Nenagari body, Avihuking body, Nenagari body, running body, Nenagari body, running body, and that's road rocks out in his gnody. Nothing body, something body, nothing body, cause my nothing body, nothing body, nothing body, nothing body. Royalty body, nothing body, nothing body, nothing body. I have nothing body. Alright, so basically what that is me taking my pre-existing, by formula at least, Svardhamani and Rasendra, two kinds, kind of Philosopher's Stone and a Philosopher's Stone, respectively. And my Tarkika Kunamani, my Crown Jewel Philosopher of Votes, and I'm using my soul. Specifically, I'm using my shadow soul to empower my Sparzamani. I'm using my just like my soul to empower my Rasendra, and I'm using a well, actually my Hun, so to speak, my human higher soul, and I'm using a consensus of my souls to empower the Crown Jewel Philosopher post, Taki Kukunamani. So some karate and baba karate associated with the rights of Pindu karate is like the Neari, identify with empower, and Prasadayari Abiyukte, reduced to order with harness. Now, part of why that became important is that's like, as I was just talking about, and talking about I need to picture myself as single mass of energy, and then I need to remember what it is to use a soul to harness life. And so, Mama Jiva Mama Ava, Samakarari and Baba Karari, Samakarari, Kusamayari, Pinikarati Prayogiadi, Prasadayari Abhyukte. And that's associate with, see mentally, identify with, use, and then reduce to order, harness. And that's what I got. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe.